We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận tình, ni thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giáo đạo hạ môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly hô đạt lạc tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô Chư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Đa Tát Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya La Ha Đề Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian万劫难遭遇我今见闻得受持愿解如来真实。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns and all good non-advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、金良大师、师父上人各位、出家人各位、善知识弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, Tịnh Tiên Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức ca Như Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 1st of August 2025. Thank you for joining our discussion of the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra prepared by Great Master Ching Liang. We are on slide 1464. I'm learning to appreciate this prologue more and more from Great Master YongHua. He has so much depth there. He knows so much about cultivation. It's a shame he's still not alive anymore to enlighten us more on the more advanced aspects of cultivation. I'd love to ask him a few more questions if I were there at the lecture. Okay, this is for your reference. He's talking about the Xianshou school of teaching. This is the school that analyzes the Avatamsaka Sutra, and that divides, Xianshou, Great Master Xianshou, divided the Buddha Dharma into 5 different periods. The first one is, very bluntly, Hinayana, meaning it's beginners, fundamental, if you will. You could say beginner, you could also say fundamental. You can't walk unless you first learn how to crawl. Okay, so it's fundamental. And so the next section would be the beginning, the initial teaching, which is the beginning of the great vehicle teachings. Okay, now we're at the end of the Hinayana teaching. All right, thank you. All right, let's jump right into it. It only uses the 6 consciousnesses and the 3 poisons to establish the basis of defilement and purity.
但依6世3毒建立染净根本。
Okay, very important here. And again, when you learn the Dharma, it's nothing personal. Same thing with speaking the Dharma. It's nothing personal at all. Because you need to remember to leave the ego out of it. Okay? If you want to speak Dharma, it's not from your ego. Same thing, if you want to receive the Dharma, learn the Dharma, forget the ego, check the ego, put the ego in the coat check. Or today, a hot day like today, put it outside in the parking lot. All right? Now, this is an important concept. Small vehicle. Small because it's only so much that, like a child, can grasp. We all have limitations. Okay, so when the Buddha came to our world, he taught the non-Buddhist practitioners. Many of them were Hindus, many of them were yogis, many of them, and so forth. They followed the non-Buddhist religions, and they like it because they find it useful. They have the kinds of advantages that the worldly dharmas, the secular dharmas don't offer. So it's wonderful for them. But the Buddha wanted to bring them to the next level. Next level would be purity. Okay, Buddhist concept of purity. Okay, which is universal, and so. In terms of purity, the Buddha says, I tell you what, this is so ingenious of the Buddha. He says, let me teach you about something you never knew before. Okay, if you're not there yet, you don't have wisdom yet, you certainly don't know this. Okay, so I'm saying this because you need to ask yourself. Okay, he says, as long as you have this eye consciousness, the 6 consciousnesses, meaning the 6 sense organs that you possess, the eyes, the ears, the nose, and so forth. And in order for it to connect with the outside world, is something, a bridge called consciousness. Eye has eye consciousness, ear has ear consciousness that allows you to hear the sound. Okay, so this is how we function. Okay, so the Buddha, when he teaches us, it's so fundamental to how we function, the inner workings of human beings. He said, basically, you depend on the 6 consciousnesses to function every day. All right? And furthermore, he says, in your mind, you have the 3 poisons called greed, anger, stupidity, that are called the 3 poisons because they poisons your mind. Your mind, as long as your mind still have greed, anger, stupidity, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Catholic, you're Buddhist, or you're Hindu, or you're a non-believer, as long as you still feel greed, you feel the anger, you still feel stupidity, then you're impure. From Buddhist perspective. Okay? Why are you impure? You're impure because of those 3 poisons, you give rise to afflictions. Isn't it beautiful how fundamental it is? If you're afflicted, look back. In other words, if you have any kind of affliction, what is it based upon? It's only 3 things. Either greed, either anger, or stupidity. You don't need to look very far. It's right there. Don't blame anyone, okay? If you're afflicted, it's so fundamental. It's beautiful. The simplicity and the rawness is so beautiful. If you're afflicted, okay? It's not because of your daddy. It's not because of me. It's not because of God. It's not because of Buddha. It's because of your three poisons. You've been poisoned. Wake up. And you know what? Most people in the world don't want to hear this. He said, these Buddhists are speaking nonsense. Huh? I live without greed. How can I possibly go to work? How can the scientists possibly invent? Okay? Greed is part of human nature. Greed is American. Greed is Vietnamese. Greed is Chinese. Greed is human. Greed is normal. Greed is, in the words of, what's the name of that guy in Wall Street? Gordon Gekko. Thank you so much, sir. Come more often. Greed is good. And here's the Buddha says greed is bad for you. So Buddhist wisdom, it's called wisdom because it's not something that you can come up with yourself. It's contrary to worldly thinking. It's because you're worldly thinking that you're confused, and that's why you're afflicted, and that's why you're suffering. Okay? So Master YongHua explains it. It's beautiful. He says, the afflictions that arise from your three poisons is what makes you impure. Don't blame the three poisons either. Cut it out. I'm so greedy. No, we're all greedy. Okay? But don't be afflicted. It sounds contradictory, but it says clearly, when you look at your afflictions, when you're vexed because of whatever the reasons, look back, it's three poisons. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And those are the basis of your afflictions. Okay? And therefore, you are defiled and you're impure. So in order to reach purity, what do you need to do? Be free from afflictions. That's all there is to it. Okay, that's done. We're done. That's it. We don't need to learn anymore. This is the core of Buddhist teachings. Now we can go to the beach and enjoy the hot weather. It's beach night, if you ask me. Friday nights is beach night. Yes, Catholic, what do you want? See, they knew it already. He wouldn't give you a microphone.
My question is, even if you have good greed, doesn't also lead to afflictions because you still have the greed in there?
What's good greed? You so Catholic.
The example you were giving, you were saying that having greed, it could be good too. So whatever kind of good greed does not also lead to afflictions?
What kind of Catholic question is that? What is this? Take the microphone back from him. He didn't deserve the microphone. Somebody straighten him out. Okay, Korean, straighten him out. Show him that the Korean has profound Buddhism. Go, Korean. I'm waiting. Anyone? Like at least 10 of you right there on the screen. Any one of you can speak, including Sanghans, Korean Sanghans. So typical Koreans, they in Chan Samadhi. Anyone? I'm desperate. What's going on? Yeah, straighten him out. Yeah, 3. Well, I don't think he takes you seriously. This is what the problem is with your relationship. Do you think that he takes you seriously? No, I thought.
Like
Why do you do that to yourself?
stupidity.
No comment.
Example of good greed.
Yeah, what's good greed? Good
I
point.
want to come to the temple, Master, and then things happen that I got delay, and I got so afflicted.
Yeah. Is there a point here?
So he said it, you could have good greed,
Okay.
but then the good greed bring me afflictions.
We bring you affliction. Did you hear that, huh? Yeah, okay. So what's the point? So what's so bad about it, huh? Good affliction, what's so bad about it? Right? That's his point. You're not solving you're not answering his question. Someone help him out. What about good greed? Yes, DTT.
정토에 가고 싶다는 건 좋은 탐.
Thank you, Korean.
정토에 가고 싶다는 건 좋은 탐심에 속한다고 생각합니다.
I think wanting to go to the Pure Land is a good greed. The desire to wanting to go to the Pure Land is a good greed.
So is that what it has to do with this? Does it mean it's okay to have good greed and be defiled, be impure? Is that the point?
제 생각에는 정토에 가고자 하는 게 좋은 탐심인 것 같고요. 아니야. 아 그래요?
I'm just shocked at Master C's lack of compassion. He knows the answer, but he would not say anything to help the Catholic. Listen, you greedy person, go ahead, old man, help him out, help out the Catholic.
Theo cái chân lý của Đạo Phật á, là rốt ráo không có thiện có ác gì hết á. cái vô sanh vô diệt, mà cái chân tâm của mình này, Phật tánh cái Như Lai không có cái gì hết á.
Why?
Biết hết á, bằng chứng là chư Phật Bồ Tát Quan Âm rồi biết tất cả cái gì. Ngài biết từng hột mưa rơi Ngài đếm được, 10 phương chúng sanh nghĩ gì Ngài biết được. Xá gì mà cái khoa học ở đây. Nhưng mà phải từng bước. Mình đang phiền não thì Đức Phật dạy mình bỏ ác tu thiện trước cái đã. Vì cái ác là mình đau khổ. Bỏ trước cái ác thô cái đã. Giết nhau, dâm dục, rồi tham lam này nọ. Bỏ trước cái đã. Rồi tới tu thiện thì lên cõi trời. Nó hưởng an lạc, rồi sống lâu hơn cái cõi của chúng ta ở đây. Nhưng mà rồi cũng chết, cũng vô thường. Bằng chứng là thời Đức Phật có nhiều vị trời luân hồi xuống với thế gian này cũng vô thường. Thành ra cái mục đích Đức Phật trong Kinh Pháp Hoa, Phật nói là tôi tới đây để dạy mấy ông thành Phật, chứ không phải dạy mấy ông đắc A-la-hán Bích Chi đâu. Còn lên cõi trời cũng là chúng sanh cao hơn cái cõi với loài người chúng ta thôi. Thiện ác gì cũng không có cần biết. Nhưng mà cái nãy thầy nói đó, đắc A-la-hán, đắc tiểu thừa trước, rồi phải có cái tâm từ bi lên trên nữa. Tu học và phát nguyện thành Phật, Bồ Đề Tâm. Đó là mục đích Đức Phật đến cõi này. Tôi dạy mấy ông cái đó, chứ không phải dạy mấy ông đắc A-la-hán Bích Chi đâu. Xá gì cõi trời. Nhưng mà cái thiện của cõi trời nó hơn cái cõi của thế gian mình chút xíu thôi. Bằng chứng cõi trời vẫn chiến tranh với Atula, thua rồi chạy cầu cứu Đức Phật. Cũng đau khổ, cũng sống, cũng vô thường. Thành ra cái mục đích của chúng ta ở đây đó, phát nguyện thành Phật, để độ chúng sanh giống chư Phật đã và đang làm. Thì Đức Phật trong kinh Thủ Lăng Nhân Tâm Muội của Hòa Thượng Niết Quá, tôi được cuốn đó thì Hòa Thượng nói, người nào phát tâm như vậy thì cuộc đời tu hành mấy ông coi như đã xong. Mấy ông biết đường đi rồi, mấy ông gieo hạt giống rồi. Không có thiện có ác vậy đó. Cao hơn thì chút xíu là khỏi thế gian thiện, nhưng mà cũng vô thường. Xin hết.
How old are you? This year you're 90 years old?
Còn nay tháng 9 thì còn 81.
81 years old. And he still remember all this. Wow. How old is my president? 30?
Ổng sinh năm 46, nhỏ con 2 tuổi.
So your president is 79. Oh, wow. So I'm impressed. His memory is still pretty good. Actually, his memory is better than my president. Anyway, translation.
Hello, Master. So our principle of Buddha Dharma is ultimately there's no good or evil, no birth and no extinction. No production, no extinction. Our true mind, the Buddha nature inside, there's nothing in it. So the proof is that the Buddha, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and all of those Bodhisattva, even a little drop of rain, they know where it come from. Not even saying all of those scientific things that happening right now, but at first we have to cultivate goodness and avoid doing evil. Other than that, we cannot kill or we cannot commit sexual greedy, and gradually we can go to the God, the heaven, but then when you go to the heaven, you enjoy your blessing, your bliss, you can live longer than the human realm. However, you're still subject to the impermanent. Therefore, the purpose of the Buddha come to our world is to teach us to become a Buddha, not just to become an Arhat or Prajika Buddha. Therefore, whether it's good or evil, no matter disregard, no matter what, just like Master say, at first we have to cultivate to become Arhat, and later on we bring forth the Bodhi mind and cultivate further and further, so that we can serve living beings and become a Buddha. Just like the proof is even in the heaven, you still have fighting. You fight with the Asura and just the God. When they lost to the Asura, they come to the Buddha to ask for help. So like the Surangama Samadhi verse has a saying that if you bring forth the body mind at this life, you are good, you are done. So therefore, ultimately, there's no good or evil, just cultivate.
You want to hear a short version that you can understand? Catholics. When you get bit by a poisonous snake, what do?
Call 911.
And after 911, 911 is not going to save your life. What do you do to deal with the snake poison?
Maybe cut off the flow of the blood by putting something around.
Okay, don't do it. Okay, so let me tell you how you're going to fix it. Good Lord. Some people need help. I thought it was common knowledge. Let me try someone else, just to be fair to the Catholic. I'm going to try a real Buddhist. What do you do when you get bit by a rattlesnake? What do? What's the treatment? You don't know either? You're just like the Catholic? What is this? This is conspiracy? Yes, in the back.
Master, if I were Daniel, I would tell Apple to suck the blood out, the venom out of my body, and spit it out.
And kill her along the way? That's not a bad idea. Yes, 6. What do? Jesus, am I the only one who knows? Jesus Christ.
Fight poison with poison.
That's right. In order to treat a poisonous snake bite, you use the same poison to treat it. You use poison to fight poison. That's the only way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Similarly, we are greedy by nature. We're not going to stop being greedy overnight. So wisdom is that we use, just like the wisdom from science, you use poison to fight poison. We use good greed to fight bad greed. But it's not just any kind of good greed. Okay? The good greed, you could talk about the good greed of wanting to build a bridge, wanting to fly to the moon, wanting to find a cure. Okay? Those are good greeds. But will they save you? No, they won't. Okay? So Buddhist wisdom is that we know you're greedy. Okay? So therefore, we teach you to be indulging in certain types of greed that will help you undo that poison of greed later. So it's not a haphazard thing. It's very, if you will, scientific, very precise. We tell you to be greedy for this. For example, you want to be greedy to learn Chan. Okay? You want to be greedy for enduring the leg pains. You want to be greedy for making sacrifices. Those are the good greeds that will bring you great results. If you keep on being greedy for, I don't know, praises, attention, it will not bring you liberation, it will not put an end to your greed nature, your greedy nature. It will actually make it worse. You don't just fight poison with any type of poison. You need to use proper poison to fight it and to heal yourself. Same principle. Yes, sir, 5.
Master, why do we call those things greed if they're good?
They're good greed and bad greed. It's foolish, it's stupid to indulge in bad greeds, but it's wise to indulge in good greed temporarily.
In my mind, say, for example, wanting to cure cancer, I don't understand why that's greedy.
It's a good greed. Because it's beneficial. Bad greed is not beneficial. To put it in simple terms. Good in what? Good for you. Bottom line. Bad for you. Bottom line. So people who don't have wisdom, it's safer for them to stay on the good side of greed. Go for the good greed. But eventually, those good greeds will help them graduate towards better good greed. Okay? That's how it works. You don't get to see Mahayana right away, for example. You need to go through Catholicism, you need to go through Hinayana, and then you need to, before you reach Mahayana. See, there is, the cream rises to the top naturally. But you have to choose the right path, the good path, if you will. So that's why we don't feel threatened by Catholicism, we don't feel threatened by Mormonism, we don't feel threatened by Judaism. It's all good stuff. If you stick to the good side of it, don't go to the bad side of it. We all have good sides and bad sides. How are you going to get started if you say, I'm not going to be greedy? It sounds like greed to me. I'm not going to be greedy. It sounds very greedy to me. And stupid. Okay, so Buddhism and the Buddhist training is about wisdom. The wisdom that has a proven track record of having helped countless living beings already. It's nothing new to us. Only you are new. We've been doing this for so long. You guys only see it here in this higher world. You only see it here in your duration. Meaning when you go back to the books, the duration of 3,000 years and the Buddha came to our world. Actually, we've been doing for much longer, way, way before that. So we have a track record. Okay? All right. I hope I answered his question. Hey, Catholic, did I answer your question? He says. So, he's convinced that Buddhism is superior. Never mind. Okay, we'll need more time on that. So he says, purity for Hinayana is very, very simple. You have the absence of greed, anger, stupidity. Okay? And that's child's play, by the way, as far as Mahayana is concerned. Okay? But it's such a revolutionary concept when you think about it. When people of the world indulged in the 3 poisons, the Buddha stood up and said, no, you don't want to do that because it's making you unhappy. You don't believe me? Look at yourself. Why are you so unhappy? What are you unhappy about? Look at your unhappiness. It's because your 3 poisons, one of the 3 poisons are afflicting you. You angry, aren't you? Huh? You greedy, aren't you? You being stupid, aren't you? That's why you're unhappy. That's why you're afflicted. Wake up. It's not me. It's not daddy. It's not your wife. It's not your girlfriend. It's your boyfriend. Okay? It's you. Who is the cause of the problem? 1, 4, 6, 7. You see, it's one of the most difficult things to teach people, okay? Because they said, how dare you insult me? Especially if you have some amount of success. Let's say you're rich, you're famous, you are Sydney. No one knows Sydney, of course, except me. Even Malcolm is thinking, Sydney who? Sydney, Australia? Sydney what? Malcolm. Complete. The second word. I'm checking his homework here.
That was my thought was Australia, Master, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now.
See? Too much greed is not a good thing. It's too busy working. Yes, go Forrest. Sydney what? I hope you have the answer.
Sydney Sweeney.
Okay, amigo. Bueno. I'm impressed. Look at that. Okay, thank you very much. Sydney Sweeney. Think genes. Never mind. Yes. Anyway, let's go back to the Dharma. 1467, therefore the Agama says, greed, anger, and stupidity are the basis of the mundane, and so forth.
故阿含云：贪、恚、愚痴是世间根本等。
Okay, listen. See how the Buddha is teaching here. The Buddha, Agama Sutra, meaning the Buddha, the words from Buddha when he taught the Hinayana people. He says, Buddha says, greed, anger, and stupidity are the basis of the world. The world is run on greed, anger, and stupidity. It's not about judging you. When you hear this, I don't want you to look at your mom and say, see, my mom is so worldly, so mundane. No. It's looking at yourself. What kind of mindset are you? If you're free of greed, anger, stupidity, then you're not mundane. If you're not free, then you are worldly. That's all. You're in a worldly frame of mind. That's all. It's about looking at yourself. It's not about judging others. Don't say, oh, look at that, Catholic is so worldly. Of course he's worldly, he doesn't know better. We all know that. Why? Anyway, I get distracted. Okay, anyway, so, and what happened, Master Shihua says, is what you guys don't realize, okay, is that it's not the first time. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't say, how come I'm so greedy? Why am I so angry? Why am I so stupid? He says, you've been stupid all these years already, all these lifetimes already. It's not the first time. Come on. I hate to tell you this, but you've been this way for a long, long time. And guess what? No one wants to hear it. Malcolm, what do you think? You want to hear it?
So last night I was at LAX and it took like 5 hours, so I got mad. So that's my anger, and I recognize it. But what am I supposed to do? Because I've been angry for countless kalpas or beginningless time.
It's hopeless. It's all you can do. It's just whatever you do, don't become Christian. I'm making fun of these people. It's okay. For some reason tonight, I apologize to the rest of you who are Christians. Okay, so anyway, don't take me seriously, please. I'm just being stupid. Okay, so it's interesting here. Master YongHua says, he adds to this. Master YongHua kind of adds oil to the fire. You know, the Buddha says, you are so worldly, you're so mundane. Master YongHua says, you know, it's not the first time. I swear to God, it's not the first time I saw you. Last time you were like this too. How does it help? The point he's making is not accusing you, is that it's very difficult to undo this, guys. It's so difficult. Okay? We've been like this over lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. If you believe that, then you might want to change. Okay? You need to snap out of it because it's no good for you. Look, you're unhappy, you're afflicted, and you've been this way for a long, long time. Wake up. That's all it's meant to say. It's not judging you, it's not accusing you. Okay? It's a wake-up call. When are you going to wake up to this fact? And Master YongHua says, he seems to have this problem with his students. He says, you guys are so arrogant. I'm adding this for him because he's too kind. He will not look at you in the eyes. You're so arrogant. He says, look at, of all the three poisons, arrogance is very bad. It's very Chinese. He doesn't look at you. You call you idiot, you stupid. No, that's so American. Okay. He said, in general, why are people so arrogant? He would not look at you in the eyes. Why are people so arrogant? That's Chinese for you. They don't confront you. Am I correct, Taiwanese? They don't confront you. Don't say, you stupid, you greedy person. He said, how come people are so greedy? How come people are so stupid? I'm not looking at anyone. Jesus. And that's why in my generation, we didn't get it. We thought it's normal to be arrogant, to be stupid, to be greedy, Yes, go Forrest.
Dạ thưa thầy. Thầy nói là thầy chửi tụi con là ngu si để mà thức tỉnh. Nhưng mà con biết con ngu rồi, vì sao thức tỉnh được thầy?
Master, you scolded me, reminded us that we are stupid, but so that we can wake up from our stupidity. But I'm already stupid, so how can I wake up from it?
Some people cannot be helped. I just don't know how to help some people. Does that answer your question? It's beyond being called stupid. Some people being called stupid doesn't help. I disagree with your statement that I call you stupid. I never call you stupid. I swear to God, I never call her stupid. Did I? Look back. Never ever.
Dạ, thầy chưa có chửi nhưng mà thầy chửi chung.
No. Don't say that. Đừng có giơ đũa cả nắm. God, this is the Soviet Vietnam. You're going to get me in trouble with my Vietnamese following. They accuse me of being arrogant already. It's not true. Yes, translation. God.
Master, you did not call me personally stupid, but you call majority all of us stupid.
Okay, never again. That's all I have to say. DTT.
Tôi xin bổ túc hai câu nói. Thứ nhất là nãy thầy nhắc là chúng ta ngu si nhiều đời nhiều kiếp rồi. Đức Phật ra đây là 26 thế kỷ rồi. Bây giờ chúng ta cũng đâu có ai hết vô minh đâu. Mà trước khi Đức Phật ra là bao nhiêu là A Tăng kỳ kiếp rồi. Cái loài người mình, chúng sanh mình nó như vậy đó. Phải có thời gian mới chữa được. Từ hồi Đức Phật tới bây giờ 26 thế kỷ, bao nhiêu người được đắc đạo mà để giải quyết cái ngu si, cái vô minh đó. Thì thầy Vĩnh Hóa nói mấy vị ngu si, chúng ta ngu si. Cái đó là Đức Phật nói chứ không phải thầy nói. Mình ngu si mà theo cái tiếng trong đạo gọi là vô minh. Không biết làm tầm bậy không gọi là vô minh. Tầm bậy không phải là mình đi giết chóc cái gì. Mình làm ngược rồi cái Phật tánh của mình nó gọi là vô minh, ngu si. Nói theo gian gọi là ngu si, còn nói theo đạo gọi là vô minh. Mình không có biết gì hết, thì mình làm trật còn mình tưởng trúng. Trái cái nguyên tắc của cái Phật tánh của mình. Thì tôi có kinh nghiệm là tôi thấy chùa mình á, các chùa cũng có thờ, tôi cũng có thờ nữa, Quan Âm mà 11 cái đầu. Tại sao 11 cái đầu? Quan Âm thập nhất diện. Mà có lần Ngài dạy tôi, thì tôi mới thắc mắc là tại sao 11 cái đầu, thì tôi tìm hiểu rất là lâu. Thì bên Tây Tạng nó có cái kinh rồi Quan Âm thập nhất diện đó. Thì vấn đề mà nói nãy giờ vô minh đó, Ngài phát nguyện Ngài giúp chúng sanh. Bao nhiêu A Tăng kỳ kiếp rồi, Ngài nhìn lại thấy nó không có bớt, nó vẫn như vậy. Thì Ngài mới thắc mắc và Ngài tuyệt vọng. Ngài thôi tôi bỏ cái hạnh Bồ Tát, tôi không có giữ cái hạnh Bồ Tát nữa. Thì theo cuốn kinh nó nói là cái đầu Ngài vỡ làm 100 mảnh. Ngài mới cầu cứu Ngài A Di Đà Phật. Thì A Di Đà Phật đáp lại 11 mảnh. Thì cái đầu ở trên cùng đó rất là ác, để mà trừng trị dạy những người ác. Còn cái 10 cái dưới thì rất là từ bi. Thì bằng chứng là Quan Âm mà chịu không nổi cái vô minh của chúng ta mà. A Tăng kỳ kiếp, cả chúng sanh mình và các loài cứ again làm tầm bậy không. Thì nãy giờ mình nói Đức Phật ra 26 thế kỷ đâu có ăn nhầm gì. Nên thầy Vĩnh Hóa chửi chúng ta ngu si là nhắc lại cái tiếng Phật nói là vô minh. Làm tầm bậy tầm bạ thì cái mình activate nó, thì cái Phật tánh nó tạo ra những cái ngu si khác, thì mình phiền não. Thì quý vị biết mình vô minh rồi, biết ngu si, cái cô nữ hỏi đó, biết ngu si rồi thì nó làm mình đau khổ. Thì nãy thầy nói mình bị con rắn nó cắn đó, thì phải tìm thuốc liền để mà chữa, chứ không chạy vòng vòng nữa. Mình để phiền não đủ thứ chuyện trong đời mình nhìn lại mình biết rồi. Bây giờ gặp Pháp Phật rồi thì cái Pháp nào mình thấy nó hay để mình áp dụng. Thì chú, niệm Phật, niệm Quan Âm, tham thiền hay là cái gì đó. Để nó phá, nó chữa cái nọc độc đó đó. Chứ bây giờ mình ngồi đó mình than giảng hoài thì Bồ Tát Quan Âm còn bể cái đầu ra mà làm sao mà chữa hết được. Mà phải có thời gian. Mà theo tôi biết á, quý vị tụng kinh hoài là tôi tụng kinh này nếu có ai thấy nghe đều phát Bồ Đề tâm, tận thử nhất báo thân đồng sanh cực lạc quốc. Tôi tụng kinh này ai thấy nghe có mặt vô khuất mặt hiện thân thì nghe tôi tụng cái này thì phát Bồ Đề tâm đi. Bồ Đề tâm là cái chìa khóa giải quyết hết. Trong kinh Phổ Lăng Nghiêm Tâm Hội Đức Phật nói phước báo vô cùng vô tận, không có phước báo nào lớn hơn phát Bồ Đề tâm hết đó. Bồ Đề tâm là con nguyện thành Phật để giúp chúng sanh, giống chư Phật đã và đang làm. Thì Phật nói người nào phát cái đó thì cuộc đời tu hành của hắn coi như xong, đã được là chấp nhận. Nó giết cái ngu si của mình mà không phải bây giờ đâu, làm không nổi đâu. Thì Đức Phật rất là trí tuệ, giới thiệu mình đi qua cái thế giới A Di Đà Phật, cũng dạy tiếp. Chứ ở thế gian này chịu không có nổi đâu. Tại cái bản chất của cái trái đất này như vậy. Thì đã trả lời cô nữ mà giải quyết cái ngu si đó. Tôi xin nói tôi cũng phải làm như vậy thôi, không có ai làm hơn hết đó. Phải cần thời gian. Mà sẽ dễ mình làm mà tinh tấn hay là mà mình làm biếng đó. Mình nhìn lại cái ngu si đó, cái phiền não đó nó làm mình khổ cỡ nào. Con rắn nó cắn cái nọc có đau khổ cỡ nào. Ở nó mà lo ăn nhậu, ăn chơi, đánh bài, đánh bạc. Thì cái đó là càng ngu si nữa. Phải giải quyết gấp. Cho nên quý vị tụng mỗi ngày đó, khi mà đứng dậy đi, trước khi đứng dậy đi, Ngài Phổ Hiền biểu tu cũng giống như lửa cháy trên đầu á. Hay là như con cá nó cạn nước, nắng rọi nó cạn cái thau nước, có cái gì mà vui đâu. Cái đau khổ nó giết mình như vậy đó, như con lửa đang cháy trên đầu á. Thì để giải quyết cái ngu si mà cô nữ hỏi đó, tôi cũng phải như vậy, không có ngoại lệ gì hết đó. Tôi xin hết.
Hello, Master. I just want to add on to those previous two sentences that Master said. Master said that we are stupid. It's not only this lifetime, but if you think about it, the Buddha was born in this life 26th century ago, and he's not just only say that. It just only mean that we are ignorant, booming. So not only this life, but many Buddhas, as some years ago, also say the same thing. But so 26th century already, how many people can attain enlightenment? How many people can resolve their stupidity? Master say that is only not because Master saying so, but the Buddha also say the same thing, because we did it in the normal mundane way, we call it stupidity, but in the term of religion, it means ignorance, booming, because we're doing wrong thing opposite to our Buddha nature. That's why we're creating affliction for ourselves. So therefore, a lot of the temple that I know that they worship Guan Yin Bodhisattva that has like 11 heads. And I've learned one thing in the Tibetan culture, they taught about why the Guan Yin Bodhisattva has 11 heads is one time he was cultivating, he trying to help living beings, and to the point that he felt disappointed that living being could not get rid of their evil, so he did not want to help anymore. So then his head break into hundreds of pieces, and he come and seek help from Amitabha Buddha. And the Buddha was able to put everything together into 11 pieces. And the top one is the evil face, and 11 bottom one, very compassionate face. So even Guan Yin Bodhisattva could not bear our evil. The Buddha only wanted to tell us that we're stupid, we're doing the wrong thing. That's why we're creating affliction for ourselves. Now that you know that you are being afflicted, what do? You got bitten by the snake. You have to find a cure to help resolve the problem for yourself. So now that you know the Buddha Dharma, we have to apply reciting the Buddha name, sutra, mantra, so that we can treat the poisonous. Not just sitting there and then complaining about why am I being afflicted. Even the Buddha, even Bodhisattva breaking their head, her head cannot even help you. So reciting sutra, there's a verse saying that those who see or hear will bring forth the body mind, and at the end of this very life will be reborn in the land of utmost bliss. So bring forth the body mind is that you are wanted to have a resolve to become a Buddha. Not this lifetime, but one day certainly you want to become a Buddha. You will become a Buddha. Once you make that vow, the Buddha will know about it, and that's good enough, and will lead you to get to where you can become. So your cultivation is good. You are accepted, and the Buddha, with his wisdom, will help guiding you and introduce you to Amitabha Buddha so that you can cure more. So the nature of this earth is that you don't have enough time, just like the universal exhortation say, cultivation is like the fire up on your head. You don't have enough time. So you have to be diligent every day to try to get rid of the poisonous of disregard where it come from. But if you just keep laying around and being stupid, just like the fire on your head, you don't quell that. There's nothing fun here in this Saha world. Me, myself, also the same thing. That's all.
Okay, and I hope you're happy with that answer. Are you happy with the answer? Someone who I never call stupid? You happy? Confirm for everyone else again, I never call you stupid.
Yeah, Master never called me stupid.
That's very stupid to say that. But I never call you stupid. Come on, let's face it. Master Z has a different approach. How can you tell someone who says, I'm stupid, and when you keep on calling me stupid, how does it help me? I say, I never call you stupid. I swear to God. How can you help such people?
I don't know, Master. Yeah, Master C says so just follow Master C's teaching.
Okay, you heard him. Master Z says, go to DTT. Please. Yes, DTT.
Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Xin trả lời cô nữ và tất cả người khác, và trả lời chính tôi cũng vậy. Ngu si tức là cái sự không biết cái nào đúng cái nào sai đối với cái Phật tánh của mình đó. Mình cứ khởi miệng thân miệng ý mình khởi lên. Ý thì khởi, thân thì làm theo cái miệng thì nói. Nó tạo những cái điều phiền não, đau khổ cho mình. Thì giờ cô đang làm đó, tôi cũng đang làm đó. Thời giờ này ở nhà mình ngủ, mình đi vô mình nghe Pháp, mình trì chú, niệm Phật. Nó tạo cái phước lên để nó trừ, cái đó là cái thuốc để trừ cái ngu của mình. Thì mình có cái hòa thượng với thầy cho mình thọ giới, 5 giới. Cái đó là nó cột lại để mình bớt cái ngu si của mình đó. Mình giữ năm cái giới là nó bớt đau khổ rất nhiều. Không ăn cắp thì người ta đâu có đánh, không có chửi người ta đâu có chửi lại. Thì năm cái giới đó đang cột cô với cột tôi lại đó. Rồi cộng mình đi chùa, mình niệm Phật, làm phước, mình rửa chén, nấu cơm, làm tất cả công việc tốt, thì mình đang chữa cái bệnh đó đó. Nên tôi rất là may mắn là tôi được cái kinh Nikaya của Đức Phật dạy 49 năm. Thì tôi không thể nào tôi đọc nổi 49, 37 cuốn, mỗi cuốn 600 trang. Làm sao có giờ đọc. Thì một bữa đó tôi dở một cuốn ra, đem lên ly, nó không có tính trước, thì dạy cái đó đó. Tu 49 năm này, hết 37 cái cuốn này đó, không có gì ngoài là hôm trước mình đi cái chùa ở bên Busan đó, ông thầy trụ trì ông viết cái baron trên cái bảng bằng giải trên ngang cái hội trường, cái sân khấu của cái chùa đó rất là hay đó. Do the good deed, tức làm việc tốt, nói cái lời tốt, và cái thân thì làm cái điều tốt, và cái miệng nói lời tốt, cái ý nghĩ tốt. Ba cái đó nó chữa cái bệnh ngu si của chúng ta đó. Mà trong cuốn Nikaya đó nói là tu hết cái bộ kinh này, ngoài không cái gì ngoài làm ba cái điều đó hết đó. Ấy là lời Phật dạy rõ ràng như vậy. Tôi mở thành lần tôi chuyên nguyện, tôi nói bây giờ con không thì giờ đọc hết cái này được đó, mà cũng không nhớ nổi. Tôi rút đại một cuốn tôi mở ra, thì nói người nào làm tất cả việc lành, không làm tất cả việc ác, tự tịnh ý chí mình, ấy là lời Phật dạy. Tương đương với tu hết 37 cái cuốn này, là trừ cái ngu si của chúng ta đó. Thì nói theo thuật ngữ đạo Phật là gọi là vô minh, mà nói theo thế gian là mày ngu si, cũng đâu có trật. Thì bây giờ chúng ta có những dụng cụ nào? Ngồi kiết già nè, niệm Phật nè, trì chú nè, nghe Pháp nè, tất cả đều dẫn cái phước báo để mà mình giải quyết cái con rắn cắn mình, cái độc đó. Xin hết.
I would like to answer Nữ. Another one is that I myself also very stupid. We very stupid. We don't know what's right or wrong. We do everything opposite to our Buddha nature. Once our minds give rise to a thought, our mouth follow through and our body follow the suit. So whatever you do, right here, instead of staying at home sleeping, you come to the temple, you recite the Buddha name, you listen to the Buddha Dharma master lecture is also the cure for your stupidity. Venerable Master taught us to keep the 5 precepts. It's like you tie ourselves so that we become less stupid. If you don't steal, then people don't beat you up. If you don't yell at others, curse at others, people will not curse back at you. Also, together with everything that we do here at the temple, great blessings also help cure your stupidity, your poison. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky is that I was able to receive the Nikaya Sutra and all of the teaching of the Buddhas in 49 years. In 37 rows, and in each row is 600 pages. Altogether, I also see in the Busan temple, there is a banner. It said, do the good deed, the mouth speak the good thing, the mind think of the goodness. All of those, even in Nikaya Sutra, is also condensed into one verse saying that do all the good things and don't do evil, trying to purify your mind. Those are the Buddha's teaching, so that in our worldly life, we call it stupidity. In Buddhism, we call it ignorance. Those two things are just the same concept. Whatever we do here at the temple is to resolve the poisonous, the venom that the snake bite us. And that's it.
Okay, you keep on talking about this. Let me clarify for you. Stupidity in Buddhism is different from ignorance. Okay, ignorance of Wuming is totally different. In Hinayana, it's no differentiation, but in Buddhism, in Mahayana, there's a big difference between stupidity and ignorance. You call stupid people who are normal. That's ordinary people. They're stupid and they don't even know. Whereas ignorance is reserved for bodhisattvas who have wisdom and yet they don't know. Yes, it happens to people who have wisdom too. Even though you have wisdom, you still have a lot of things that you still don't know. Okay? And they're not offended by that. Bodhisattvas know that, they're not offended because they have wisdom. Whereas ordinary people, when you call them stupid, they get offended. All right? And in my defense, okay, for a person who asks this kind of question, well, I'm stupid, how can I stop being stupid? Means that you're not stupid at all in my eyes, in my book. You're very special. I hope it helps. Okay? And if you want further clarification, drive to DTT. The answer is just to close, to give all of you a sense of closure, because I like to leave a lot of things hanging for some reason. But tonight I would like to give you a sense of closure. Okay? This woman, this non-stupid woman, says, I'm stupid, and what can I do about it? And the answer is, as Master Xi says, I don't know. Why is it my problem? I mean, that's what he means. Okay? The question assumes that, are you going to fix it for me right away? Is there a quick cure for it? There's no such a thing. Okay? It takes time. We've been like this for a long, long time, so it will take time to undo it. However, okay, as there are ways for you to do it quicker in a less painful way. And what's commendable about you is that you have plenty of blessings. That's why even though you come to a place and that the master calls a lot of people around you stupid except for you, you still come. For ordinary people that say, this master is so arrogant, he calls my neighbor stupid, I've never come again. That's exactly what happened to most people. Okay? And they bring their wives, invite the wives to the temple, and as soon as the wife walks in, she heard the master call someone stupid. She said, my God, what kind of monk is this? No manners. Okay? And so they'll never come back again. They never say anything, but they will judge you. Whereas this woman here, even though I never call her stupid for the umpteenth time, get this straight, I never call her stupid, okay? And yet she kept on coming, even though I called everyone else stupid. Why? Because she has blessings. It's a test of her superior blessings. You are so special. Whereas other people do not have such a luxury. As soon as they get offended because of whatever, they never come again. But you know, honey, every time you come to the temple, okay, in spite of all that, you're planting a lot of incredible blessings to help you end your non-stupidity. Okay, now the record is straight. Stop slandering me, you non-stupid woman. Such help you are, XZ. I remember this. Okay, moving on. Okay, and Master YongHua's prior slide, he talked about the intermediate afflictions, and I remember that list I gave you back there. I spent a couple of nights talking about it. Okay, Master YongHua harped about this. He says, you know, again, it's funny to me that he never directly called anyone like arrogant or is deceiving, or this one is a good one, concealment. You know, it's hard for me to talk about concealment when I don't look at people. I don't dare look at people. So I can see Master YongHua when he was lecturing. I think he's probably get to the point where, you know, he talked about concealment and deceiving people. He probably closed his eyes. It's hard, let me tell you. Hard to be not to be direct about it. 1471, moving on. Can we move on, please? It has not yet exhausted the Dharma source, and so has much arguing and debating from holding to different works.
未尽法缘，故多争论，不执不同。
Again, okay, it's not about stupidity, it's about looking at yourself. He says, listen, from the sage's perspective, Great Master Qingliang, okay, he says that when Buddha taught Hinayana, he has not yet exhausted the Dharma source, meaning that he hasn't taught everything yet. Not the whole picture yet. So that's why those people would hang on to that, and they get excited. They found, wow, this is Buddhist wisdom is fantastic, so insightful, and they practice according to that, and they feel so much better about themselves and became happier. Okay. However, what they don't realize is that many of them got stuck. And this is very, very fascinating that Master Qingliang says so here. He says, the Hinayana people, because they never heard the entire story, the whole story, they are engaging in arguing and debating. This is coming from the mouth of a Mahasattva. He understands the difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. He says, the Hinayana believers, they have much arguing and debating of the Buddhist principles. I'm not talking about you ugly, I'm smarter than you. Not that kind of arguing and debating. He says they're arguing and debating about their understanding of the Buddha's teachings. That's the trademark of Hinayana practitioners. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name the sect. But if you see these people, the way they practice, the way they learn is by arguing, debating, that's Hinayana, according to Master Qingliang. Why is that? Because he says, these people, when they debate right and wrong, I know more than you are wrong, your belief is wrong, because they said the arguments are based on certain sutras, certain works, Buddhist works, and they base it on that. And the other guys say, but no, based on what this work here, you're wrong. And the guy said, but I cite another work for you. to demonstrate to you I'm not wrong. The other guys, oh, no, you forgot about this work. So, and on and on and on and on. There's so much debating and arguments based on citing sutras, citing Buddhist sutras. Any questions about that? This is characteristics of the people who always says, he's wrong because of this teaching. Okay? So be careful about such argument about such people who had to prove themselves by citing works. Okay? And the coarsest one I've seen too often is the one who keep on arguing and citing sutras. I've seen, for example, my master's disciples citing his teachings. Okay? So it's even worse than that because they don't understand his teachings at all. But they cite it because when Master YongHua taught it, it's not the way he meant. But they don't get it. Okay, so anyway, there's a next section about the initial teaching, but I want you all to, this section to me is very important, okay, because we need to pay attention and take cues from these great sages, Master Jing Liang and Master YongHua. Okay, they're always these people, these two great sages, they're saying that the people who proclaim to understand Mahayana, proclaim to understand the Buddha's teaching, are always citing. They're trying to demonstrate their understanding. Okay? They're trying to establish themselves as authorities because they're not. Because they don't understand. That's why they need so desperately to establish their authority, their expertise. Can I use an example of someone who would like to call other people stupid, since we're there? Huh? If, just for the sake of argument, that we're all stupid, okay? Then what's the point in trying to prove to us stupid people that you're right? That you know what you're talking about? You get my point? The desire to establish your expertise, your superior knowledge, by arguing, by debating, by citing this, by citing that, getting a diploma, getting, whatever. Okay? What for? Especially if those people don't get it. What's the point? Why do that? It's rather stupid, wouldn't you say? You see a Chan master ever argue and say, the 6th Patriarch, if it said, I understand the Flower Adornment Sutra, I understand the Lotus Sutra, you don't. Never said to do it. He never had to do that. He only explained what it means to her, to him, if they ask. He never had to establish himself, try to establish himself as the authority. It's not the point. It's not his job. It's not his desire. is to establish himself as the authority. His job is to help you, each and every one of you. He's not here to argue with you, argue with among him and his peers that he's a better monk. He's a more knowledgeable person. It's futile. It's not good use of his time. And what's fundamentally wrong with that? What's wrong with calling someone stupid? As long as we're there. Catholic, what's wrong with calling someone stupid? Then they'll never come to your church again, would they? That's a good way to get rid of them. Thank you for your answer. What's wrong with calling someone stupid? Now, I asked the Buddhists. We got an answer from the Catholic already. You Buddhists, what do you have to say? What's wrong with calling someone stupid? Put your hand down, Catholic. Huh? You're not Buddhist. Only Buddhists can answer this. Buddhists know the answer. 3, show me a true Buddhist.
Master, nothing's wrong when it's come from a sage. Thank you.
That's stupid. Anyone else? 6.
It's looking at them and not looking at you.
That's right. It's fundamentally wrong. There's no way the Catholic will get it. The Buddhists will say, stop looking at others. I'm stupid. It's my problem. None of your damn business. So calling someone stupid is rather arrogant. It's rather a waste of time. It's non-Buddhist. It's not Buddhist to do that. That's why I swear to you, non-Buddhist person, I would never call you stupid. I rest my case. I just demonstrated I would never call the non-stupid person stupid. I feel better tonight. Thank you for your question, though. I'm so grateful that I have a chance to clarify it so that there's no more doubt in your mind that I never call her stupid. Jesus, such accusation. It took me half an hour to justify myself. Yes, 6.
Comment from YouTube. John Inman says, Master YongHua said, the Dharma is one without sides, but debate has 2 sides.
So meaning is a good thing? No, it doesn't matter if they want to argue, I'm just tipping you with the insight from these 2 great sages, Master Jingliang, Master YongHua. Okay, there's no wisdom in arguing, in debating at all. Okay, it's total waste of time, and therefore you don't have to take them seriously. Okay? And interestingly, I want to remind you again, okay, I know I'm going to offend some people, that only Hinayana people would encourage debate and arguing over the principles. Actually, when I first started, to be honest with you, I hang around with Hinayana people, okay? Because I looked up to Arhats and said, God, I said, if I could reach 4th stage Arhat, I give up my life for it. Because the Buddha says, Dharma ending age is impossible, practically impossible, Okay, so I looked up to the Arhats. I said, Hinayana people, well, I don't know why Mahayana people criticize them. I'd be just so happy if I reach fourth stage Arhat. So I studied a lot of Hinayana practices and what they did to train their own people. Okay, and so it never dawned on me that arguing and debating over the Buddhist principles and the Buddhist teachings is actually a trademark of Hinayana training. I'm proud to tell you, for the last 20 years of teaching, I never encouraged my students to argue and debate over the principles. Okay? I'm a very consistent, non-stupid person. Yes, in the back.
Master, if we are working on a project that involves sharing opinions to get the best result, do we give out our opinions and then ask for the best of it? Does it consider as arguing and debating?
It's arguing and debating for the sake of doing your best in a translation. It's different from arguing and debating to prove that you know better and the other person doesn't. It's fundamentally, it's wrong. Okay? It's counterproductive to engage in debates and arguments if it's for the sake of proving yourself to be better. Whereas arguing, debating in a constructive way, like in translation and so forth, is not necessarily a bad thing. Thank you, everyone. We stop here tonight. Next time you go to 1474, next section, the initial teaching. Okay, good night.